Welcome to your Authentic You 3-Day Challenge. We only have this one incredibly short but absolutely beautiful life. But don't get me wrong, life is hard. Our intention is for you as women to find or rediscover your authentic you right now.
You know, it was so cool because we also run an Authentic You women's workshop. And we had one of these ladies who came in for it. Her name was Colleen. She was 65 years old. And when she heard how it is with life is hard, she said, I've never heard that. With all the personal development that I have ever taken, when I take them, they're always telling me once I learn these tools, my life is going to get easier. So of course, at the time when I stated life is always going to be hard, it's understanding and knowing that it's going to be hard to be able to move through it with understanding this. That changed her whole, she said life. She couldn't believe how it made her brain think differently, because if we can accept life is hard, because it is, then with understanding who we are authentically, you see, now we can cope with life is hard, but how do I make it through each of the days that I do live and breathe?
So I guess we should tell you a little bit about ourselves first and foremost, so we can go into that so you can get a better idea of who we are as well. My name's Carolyn Charles. I was born and raised in Calgary, Alberta, and although my background really does lie in communications and that side of thing, my true passion always has lied in people. After attending the public relations program at Mount Royal College, I began my career with the Calgary Police Service in the Public Affairs and Media Relations Unit. And it really was, I think, my positive attitude and sense of humor that allowed me to see the best in people, even in the worst circumstances. After a brief stint at a graphic design company and at a law firm, I found a home at the Strathmore Heritage Days in 2007, which is where I met Carrie. It was there that I learned the importance of community and how it can be strengthened by coming together to celebrate history, culture, and traditions. From there, I moved on to the Equine Connection, where I discovered the true magic of the horse. And really, being a city kid, it was something I had never been able to even understand or comprehend before. My passion for horses grows every single day as I see these noticeable and incredible changes in the Equine Connection participants. My unique assortment of opportunities I've been through has allowed me to recognize and work with many different leadership and communication styles, which has always enabled me to adapt to each of our clients' specific needs as well. And through my experiences, I realized that there are really three key components necessary to cultivate successful people: knowledge, skills, and experience. And something that can be applied to corporate teams, youth, adults, at-risk, addictions groups alike. This applies to all. I have been with the Equine Connection since the beginning and wholeheartedly believe that although this is never where I thought I would end up in a million years, this is exactly where I'm meant to be today, helping people through the power of the horse. I'm also the general manager of the Spiritual Equine Connection Society, which provides youth, men, and women's at-risk programming for the people at the Equine Connection arena.
Hi everyone, my name is Carrie Fulmick, and I am the founder and one of the world's leading instructors.
Go back to you here, and I'm just going to slow it down.
Yeah, it's way too fast for me. Okay, so I introduced myself again?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Carrie Fulmick, and I am the founder and one of the world's leading instructors in equine assisted learning certification courses. I help others become more competent as an equine assisted learning facilitator and give them the ability to run their own successful horse businesses and make a living doing it, and most importantly, helping them find their purpose on this most beautiful, precious earth. I started the Equine Connection in January 2009 as a response to my passion for horses and, of course, people. I have always been interested in helping others reach their dreams and their goals. As a $1 million sales Weekender manager, for those of you who still remember what Weekenders was, I help women empower themselves to find their own voice and the courage to create the life that they wanted. As a motivational speaker, I encourage people to maintain a great attitude every day that they lived and that they breathed. People forget that they have a short time on earth, so we have to live it. And as a manager at the Strathmore Stampede, which was the third largest rodeo in Canada, I led and managed a team of over 700 volunteers. My love for horses and people has created this experiential program and certification that helps participants create lasting change in themselves and take the learning from the horse literally into their own lives. I am a horsewoman who believes in the connection between horses and humans. I started out my career working with horses in their language instead of using human language, which has changed how I interact with them. Horses are prey animals and they need to feel safe in order to trust humans. I understand this and seek it continuously by learning and training in how horses work, how horses react, how horses actually work in their brain, so that the connection is better every time. I believe in the investment to continue my journey and development of the horse world because I believe it is crucial for both horses and people alike. My philosophy for everyone who trains with me is that I'm not successful until you are. My motto is, if it's not hard, it's not your dream. I have written a book called 2 Weeks to Empowerment, which features an intensive online course to help women to be empowered. I also have my book called If It's Not Hard, It's Not Your Dream, a biography of triumph over adversity and so much loss that I went through in my own personal journey.
So that was our bios.
But
Really?
who are we?
Yeah, is that us?
Authentically?
At the end of the day, that's what it says on our website. But at the end of the day, like we are people too. We aren't just a sum of everything that we've accomplished this far in life, but we are human beings. We are women. And for myself, yeah, I'm Carolyn Charles. I have depression. I'm a mom. I'm divorced. I hate working out with a burning, fiery passion that sits within me. And I am not just all the things that I have accomplished in life, but I am the authentic version of myself. And to me, that's my greatest accomplishment, is that I know how to work throughout depression. I know how to be the best mom that I can be and be the authentic version of myself while I'm doing it. I know that I'm divorced and I'm really okay with it at this point, and I'm still cool with not liking to work out. But that's just who we are as a person, not as our accomplishments.
I like that.
Yeah.
And for myself, I have to tell you, I absolutely love life. I love breathing in the air and knowing how amazing it is that we're gifted to have this life. I also know that life is so very hard. And an understanding that I can die today literally continually helps me to move forward within that day. I too feel very much so like I am a horse, because a horse doesn't think of past or future. A horse lives in a moment because that's all you're guaranteed. And even for myself, bills or problems or worries or death, whatever it is.
World changes.
I don't put myself there, because authentically, I want my last breath to be that I really did have purpose on this earth, and I really enjoyed the abundance of connection to earth, hearing those birds, seeing the fields, seeing the mountains, just being, because I think that's the greatest gift authentically that each human is gifted. And I also know authentically my gift is also helping other humans understand what their gift is, because we all are here for a unique purpose, and we all bring a certain talent that nobody else has in this world. So that's me authentically.
Yep.
And I don't like working out either.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. We only do it because, well, we have to.
We want to look like we've worked out.
Right.
And that's for us too, though, mind you. So let's get on with the day one piece of this. The challenge is find your ground. Where do you fit in this world? And I mean, this is a question that we've asked ourselves a lot lately too.
Yes, especially with everything that has happened in our world. And I know Carolyn and I have talked about this repeatedly, because my brain keeps thinking, after everything that's happened, where do I fit in this world? Mm-hmm. So if I'm wondering, where do I fit in this world? Carolyn is. So are you. So whether you're authentic to that or not, it's a really great process to go through.
So the path to creating the life you desire starts with knowing who you are. But who am I? It's a pretty broad and big question to ask sometimes. So to understand where do you fit in the world, we must first understand ourselves. And this means finding where you begins. This will be a very personal journey for you. And you're going to want you want this to be solid. So grab a special diary or journal, one that when you look at it, it represents who you are, or it feels like it belongs to you. And as you take thought from your head and put it down with the pen onto a piece of paper, you're grounding all of that with the ink that connects with the paper and really becoming one with your thoughts that are in all this. This makes it real.
When you have a clear idea of who you are, it becomes easier to make decisions that are in line with your authentic self. This will help create the life that aligns more closely to what's truly important and meaningful for your happiness. So, ask yourself these 3 direct questions. Don't worry if you don't have an answer for one or some. Be real, take your time, absorb what it is that's really being asked of you. And then throughout the day, you will slowly be able to write down these answers.
So we need to understand, again, what it means to be me, myself, and I. What are your priorities in life? How do they affect the way that you prioritize tasks every single day? Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I? Who am you is what I was going to say. Who are you really deep down inside? Not just on social media or at work or also when nobody's watching. Right. So here we go, our lovelies and life changers.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so our first one, write this down. Which 3 people have had the greatest positive impact on your life, and how do they inspire you? Here is the funniest piece. I have started this journey myself because my question is continually, where do I fit now that the world has changed? So of course I wrote it down, but you know what? I only came up with 1 thus far. And I'm very, very shocked with that because you think 3 would be easy schmeezy, and it is not easy. So now, of course, I'm keeping it out like on my counter so that as I'm thinking about it throughout the day, I'm going to be able to put in the other 2 influencers that truly have made a huge positive impact on my life, because there has to be more to have built who I am, and my character can't just be my mom. Well, it could be, but I know there's others that have.
You've developed more from different people, but I wonder if sometimes it's, the positive impact maybe could come from a maybe not so positive place too, right? Like I think about for who's created me for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I've got women that I've found inspirational in my life and that kind of thing. But then I thought, okay, what's a person who actually has, through the hardest of times, had a positive impact? I have to say my ex-husband.
Interesting.
Now, isn't that bizarre? Because he did not create the positive impact. However, it was my interactions and how the life went from there and how I strengthened after the fact that if that wouldn't happen, I don't know if it would have gone the same way. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's different ways of looking at that one too. But it's a big question.
It is, and yet it wasn't. When I first developed it, I'm like, this is going to be easy.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So this is good. Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Different ways of thinking about that too. So the next one. What 3 things bring you the most happiness into your life?
And, really think about that like your soul. Like this is your soul and your heart. So we're not talking your favorite banana split or wings, because I really love wings. But what it brings me much happiness.
It does, yeah.
But really, what are the 3 things that really, and go deep into it. Like all of these questions to me are very, very, very deep.
Yeah.
I know for myself.
And don't go for the canned ones, like, because you can, as moms, we can say, our kids bring us that happiness in life. Well, that's an easy one, but why? What is the part of interacting? Is it the connection you have with your family? What is it? Don't just go for the light side of things. Really go deep into it. And what are the things that bring the most happiness into your life?
I like that. Number 3, what 3 things make you feel the most alive? I know, and again, this is deep stuff, but mine would always be the freedom to be me. I love freedom so much. I swear I can fly with freedom when I truly have freedom. Freedom is a key essential place that makes me just, I don't know, I feel like I can fly when I can be like that.
And
But-
be the leader of your own life and have the pieces
the
that fall
freedom to
within
be.
it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep, I could see that one.
Yeah.
That's a goodie. The fourth one. What 3 things do you like most about yourself? Now, again, this is the ones that you don't want to just pull off the easy stuff and the stuff that everybody's already told you. What 3 things do you like most about yourself?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a big difference in that and what necessarily other people say is your greatest quality and what is actually to you as well.
And remember, it's not your bum or your waist. It really has to do with who you are as soul and heart living being. That's the authentic being.
Yes, but you can be proud of your bum and your waist too.
Oh,
Yeah.
heck yeah. Just put
Give
that as a side note. Okay, number 5. What 3 things would you most like to change about yourself and why?
Yeah, and the why has to come in there too. Because are you changing it because you've maybe been told that's something you should change? Or are you changing it because that's something maybe you're aspiring to be in the future and you've held yourself back? But think about that why piece too. And I always think about the story that you told where people would tell you you're loud all the time.
They did.
And they did. Yeah. And she is
Literally.
sometimes.
I am a loud person, but you start taking it into your being and then you start being embarrassed for who it is that you are.
Yes.
And it's so cool when you get to a place that, hey, authentically, I do have a loud voice. And when I can use it, it is a gift.
Yeah, and when you
Right?
think about the why, because had you ever thought to change that?
Right.
Well, why? Why?
Yeah.
And
Because
wait a
other
second.
people were uncomfortable with
Exactly.
it. I wasn't uncomfortable with it. Yeah, other people were.
Mhm. So is it
That's
something you
very
really need to
important.
put on your list? Not necessarily. Right? Something to think about there
Akabaka,
too.
Jolie Taka.
This is a cool one too. What 3 outcomes do you regret the most, and what would you do differently now? And I like that this is an irritating question at first because you don't want to look back.
No, and even for the way that living in your now really is, not future and not past. And I personally, again, this is just a Carrie Fulmick thing. I love that there isn't the regrets. I mean, don't get me wrong. You wish you would have taken that turn instead of this other turn. Or maybe you had the flags of getting married, the red flags. But you know what? I don't regret personally anything. So I really found it a very difficult question for me because I feel all of those components have made Carrie Fulmick authentically who she is. But now I understand through understanding some of those components that you might change a little, how it still helps you to understand why you need to do it.
Well, and even like the red flags, it's not that you have to go back and think, oh man,
No.
I wish that all changed. Because, I mean, for me, there was lots of them, but I wouldn't have my beautiful daughter now. Right? So I wouldn't change that thing. However, I will take that knowledge and apply it to my future, right? So that is still, what would I do differently now? If I'm in the situation now that I'm empowered in a different way, how would I handle it differently? So it's kind of maybe that moving forward as to now piece rather than we're not dwelling in no past.
I do
We're
like
moving
that.
forward.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. So next one. This is a goodie too. What 3 accomplishments are you the most proud of?
Oh, I do love that.
Mhm.
And that this one is also very difficult because 3
Yeah.
that you're most proud of.
And that you were most proud of. Not that somebody gave you an award
No.
for necessarily, but something that you are most proud of for yourself.
And again, your being. Did you create life? Did you create, anything? It's not
A
just
garden. Maybe you have the bestest
Seriously.
garden and you love it
rescues.
so much.
Like who knows what it is?
Yeah.
But really think about it. This is going to be a tough day. Just figuring out all your 3. So really keep that book out so that you can keep going back to it. And here's the greatest thing. If you put down 5, great.
Yeah.
But 3 is really hard to get to.
Yeah. So this activity alone may start to help you to start getting a sense of what needs to change maybe, or what needs to come back into your life too. We forget who we are meant to be sometimes, and finding the real us and where our lives fit into this world is one of those things that can make life worth living. It can feel like it's always changing, challenging, but there will come a time when you'll find yourself again, or maybe even reconnect with your true self after years apart.
The journey towards happiness begins by taking inventory. That's right, on all aspects of your being. Physicality, mentally, spiritually, your well-being, your social status, etc. We get caught up in the past with regret, or we worry that things might go wrong, instead of going to, let's just let it go, be here now, because everything will turn out okay if we're able to get to our authentic being once more.
Remember, the past and the future cannot hold us back from our now. We need to focus on what's important, being present for ourselves, taking care of the legacy that we want to leave behind by living authentically in all areas. So when life hits us, again, whether it be good or bad, we will succeed.
Darn tootin'. On a deeper level, authenticity illuminates the path forward to live the life that you want. When you get clear on what matters to you, you make decisions that actually align with your identity and those core values. You begin to build a life that brings you meaning and joy. And in doing so, you inspire those around you to do exactly the same. This is how we figure out where it is that we fit in today's world.
The fear of rejection often prevents us from being our authentic selves. It's just like we were talking about with the loud thing, right? People put up a mask and they change how they behave in order to fit into or act like others around them. But this only leads us down an even more frustrating path where eventually we're unable to escape the reputation that has been built off of these behaviors without major overhauls in life on what it means for other people, ourselves, as well as the societal acceptance at large. But if we are authentic to who we are, then we will surround ourselves with the people who accept us as just that.
A lot can happen when we're afraid. Mm-hmm. Our speech patterns shift. Our hearts race with anticipation or dread. There's nothing worse than feeling stuck. Whether you regret your actions after doing something bold enough because society doesn't approve, or find yourself hiding who you really want and who you really are.
This is why the questions are all done privately and on your own in your nice little journal. And this is going to help you to see who you are authentically versus hiding behind these facades that we put up to fit in.
Facades. Okay. Answer these questions honestly, but not harshly.
Yeah.
Don't blame yourself for past mistakes because it's done now, remember, and it's still created who we are. Blaming and attacking will only make you feel worse about what has happened in the past. It does nothing to change that moment now or tomorrow's challenges ahead of time. We all make mistakes.
Yes, we
and
do.
We are all flawed because we are humans. It's because of these flaws that create us authentically. Accept them as part of your life and who it is that you are. And then move on with those experiences.
You got to understand that without these experiences, you wouldn't be who you are today. So just let those thoughts go when they come up. You're here doing this work because there is something inside calling out for expression, and focus on connecting with your creativity of being authentic to who you are.
Find your ground. You deserve to know who you are. Just this little challenge will open up feelings and make you think on your authentic being. Enjoy, get frustrated, get angry, cry, but live in your present. And don't go down no rabbit holes because no safety there. Instead, stay very focused on these simple yet very hard questions that we've gone over.
So that's today.
That is today.
It's no biggie, right? It's
No.
just some questions.
That's right, but we're going to see you, of course, tomorrow for our day 2 Authentic You 3-day challenge. And I love this last line. I thought it's so short, so precious, so strong, and I have no idea who wrote it.
No, it's anonymous.
It is.
But authenticity, the courage to be yourself. I've never heard of a better definition.
No, like seriously, it's short, it's simple. Oh, I love it.
So have fun with this, you guys, and we will see you tomorrow for day 2.